Yo, what's cooking, people? Recently, Hideki Kamiya, a founder and director at Platinum Games, jumped onto Twitter declaring, that the success of Nier Automata and its director Taro Yoko had, in a way, stopped Platinum Games from going bankrupt. From what we discovered, this was all coming off the recent cancellation of Scalebound by Microsoft. Now, I don't think we'll ever know exactly, why that game was cancelled. Maybe Platinum were having trouble achieving the game they wanted, or maybe Microsoft didn't like the direction the game was going in, or they changed direction themselves in terms of what software they wanted on the system at that time. Either way, can you imagine that? Platinum Games, a company who has shown more creativity than many of the big AAA developers who hog the market today. A company who, for the most part, creates sensational software. Imagine they suddenly disappeared after the library of games they have made, all because some douchebag developer dropped them like Uma, the ugliest man alive. All because they suddenly didn't have the need for such a game. Just imagine that. For me, it's this type of crap that the likes of Sony, Microsoft, EA, etc. do all the time that has become a detriment to this industry and in many ways has ruined it, especially for me. These publishers who, for the most part, care for nothing but the coinage at the end of the day. How terrible is it that a studio with the caliber and output that Platinum has produced can be hanging by a fingernail when a publisher like Microsoft's cancels a single game? What has happened to the industry? Platinum Games' output is regularly met with high praise, high praise and high scores from multiple gamers sites and what have you. Yet sales-wise, they barely get by. Even when they have a fantastic publisher like Sega and Nintendo pushing their new fantastic IPs like Bayonetta, Mad World, Vanquish, and the wonderful 101 to name a few. Why is this happening? Why aren't these games selling more than the repetitive trash, that the likes of EA, Activision, Microsoft and Ubisoft as examples churn out on a yearly basis? Many of Platinum Games' products are considered as cult classics, celebrated for their great gameplay and uniqueness, yet still sell like trash. These guys, after fleeing Capcom, another publisher where we saw the likes of Okami, Beautiful Joe, God Hand, sell poorly, and their studio, Clover Studios, being shut down by Capcom. These guys spent years building up a cult following of gamers who looked over who looked past and looked over the recycled AAA games that own the market today, and instead saw a studio who not only oozed passion but created great games. If that's something a studio cannot build itself upon and succeed, then I'm ashamed to be a gamer in today's industry. The creativity that could be lost, all based upon a decision of some guy in a suit on the other side of the world, is nothing short of sickening to me. And it would have been a massive loss to the industry if Platinum Games had to close up shop. This industry was built off companies like Platinum Games, those people who truly loved video games and wanted to create fun, original titles packed with innovations and creativity, pushing the boundaries on all fronts. Of course, there would be times when these aspiring and passionate developers would mess up. But man, when they got it right, the rest of the industry would follow. But a lot of that has changed today. Games like Vanquish, Bayonetta 1 and 2, the wonderful 101, etc. were ignored by the masses. Why? Because how I feel, because the big boys in the playground had for so many years convinced others that their way that their way was the way forward, with certain games and genres. Shouting their way is the pinnacle of gaming, when in reality cannot be more wrong. Diversity, not the dance group, is absolutely essential to this industry. I can't stress that enough. As gamers, I feel that we must follow the games, wherever they may go. The platforms they appear on are certainly, the ground that they stand on, but it's the software that takes us even higher, and the great publishers who help, push it to the stratosphere. Some people believe that that the market is, say, fractured between prices and expectations based around these games, which might also have led more to Platinum Games' current position, than anything else you could argue. But for me, although that is an issue, my finger has always been pointed directly at the likes of Sony. I'll call them out when they need to be called out. Microsoft, Ubisoft, EA, etc., who have built ecosystems where diversity, in a sense, still exists. But what's more important for them is a certain particular style of game, whether it's in appearance or a certain genre that they define as the way games should be moving forward. This is the way games should be, that they keep on saying to us, which once again for me is just plain wrong. This has led to millions of players who have grown up in these closed ecosystems, accepting only certain styles of games as worthy of their time. Not even given the time of day to try something new. When once again, in reality, this is far from the truth. And if you hear me calling out Sony, you can look at the sales of games. These great games like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. These art forms in gaming that sell like crap, when in reality they should not. I've had my middle finger stuck up to the likes of Microsoft and EA for years, and even in recent times, Sony is starting to get a lot more of my middle finger, amongst many other companies. To me, their views and practices towards gaming is what has led many of these fantastic and creative studios, to being shut down in their prime, all because they no longer meet the sales criteria that these companies desire, or they are convinced that the market isn't interested in their style of games anymore. You can argue that's business, all you want, that's fine, and I understand that well enough. But I come from a different mindset at the moment. I'm a gamer, who loves this industry, but because I consider it the most creative industry in the world. And when things get threatened by men in suits who don't give a crap about the industry, don't give a crap about risk, and can easily dash aside creative individuals who have more than shown what they are capable of, then it affects me at my gaming core. Many of us know the types of developers and publishers that deserve our support. Let's not let them down by supporting the ones, continuing to support the ones who have let us down more times than we can count. If these developers want our support and attention, then let them earn it continuously. Platinum Games has more than earned our support. But anyway, that's my mini rant over for now. Please feel free to give your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm open-minded. There's no doubt that this video came from a place of personal rage. But please, like I said, feel free to comment and let me know your own thoughts. And as always, thanks for listening, people, and peace.